Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show. My name is Jared Lee, and I'm joined, as usual, by my lovely wife, Jamie Lee. So, Jamie, how you doing?
I am pretty good, Jared. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm realizing by looking at the show notes here, we are, I guess officially almost at our 500th episode.
See, it's our 500th of this Thursday show.
Well,
so technically, we're probably in the 700 or 800.
It's way higher, but officially, it'll be for 500. So I don't know. I'm not really big on milestones. I don't celebrate them too much. I guess that's a downfall.
This is true.
He
does not. He does not.
Because what you said, the shirt I had on yesterday was nobody cares, work harder. I'm sort of that's sort of my go-to, but I don't know if we'll do anything for 500 because I didn't even realize it until right before the show. So
well, that'll be next week.
Maybe it'll just be hey, good job, high five, keep going. But we'll see. We might do something special, then we may not. But But then you last week, how did your trip with your family go? Because Jamie, if you guys remember, we pre-recorded last week's show. We didn't have any news,
right?
Because Jamie was in Disney with her sister, who was in town.
It was great. We stayed at Art of Animation in a Finding Nemo suite, and that worked perfectly for the amount of kids we had and the party number, because we had 7. One was an infant, so it worked out perfectly. We were right near the Skyliner, and we used that multiple times. Had a great time at all the parks. The baby did lovely. She was great. The kids got to swim. I mean, it was really great. We were exhausted because we were just go, but it was great.
And let's mention the allergies attacked you and baby Thor.
So yeah, the end of the trip. So I think it was Wednesday morning. Both of us started feeling a little itchy and sneezy and the whole great seasonal allergy thing. And so since then, we've just been kind of suffering through it, I guess. We're taking the stuff we need to take. I'm taking medicine, and our son, he's really hard to take medicine, and he's just taking this natural homeopathic stuff right now, and it's actually working for him. So we're excited about that. But it's almost, I think it's on the tail end. I think we're starting to come out of it. So yeah, but besides that, we're fine.
There's also the time where Jamie gets mad at me and our daughter because neither one of us have allergies, so then it's just this resentment factor that goes on. But I feel bad. I've been trying to do I bought an air purifier for the house.
Oh, you're a big help.
I upgraded the air filters to the HEPA stuff. I think it helps a little bit, but yeah, it does. Apparently this year it's really bad because of El Nino.
And
if you don't understand
for the Nino,
what I'm talking about, just go to YouTube and type in Chris Farley El Nino, and you can stop now and come back. I will allow that. That's anyways.
Does that make us feel very old?
I don't care. People need to know about this because El Nino was a menace in the ring. He was not to be.
It's Spanish for the Nino.
He was not to be trifled with. But apparently El Nino caused a delay in the blooming, and that's what
I understand.
Yeah, because it's been I will go out into the garage, even because I have the home gyms in the garage, and there will be just a yellow film on everything, and I will wipe it off and wipe it down, and the next day it's back. So I know it's all over the place. So
oh yeah,
I feel for you guys, and hopefully it's coming to an end soon because I
hope so.
Maybe, but either way, it was fun with your sister. It was busy, insane fun.
Yeah.
The office was a makeshift hotel room. So
hey, it worked.
It did work.
So
it did work. But yeah, today we do have some news we're going to talk about.
Yep.
Including there may be something coming to Animal Kingdom, perhaps.
Something's brewing.
Maybe, just maybe.
Something's brewing.
And we're also going to talk about rope drop strategies for Epcot that we personally did ourselves.
Yes.
We tested this. We went into a laboratory. We went to Epcot with white coats on, and we tested this. And yes, those white coats, very sweaty by the end of the day. Yes. But it was a very fish.
I woke up Jared at 6:15 in the morning, which, if you know him, that is painful for him. We got up early. We did the thing. Didn't have our kids with us because that would have been even harder. So we just kind of bit the bullet. We're like, let's do it. Let's go to Epcot and see how it goes, because we have never rope drop Epcot with early entry before.
Have we? Has it been a never? I thought we had before.
Wait, hold on. I'm such a liar. I think we did it once when we came in through International Gateway.
I think you're being hyperbolic.
Yes. Okay, we have done it. It's been twice, but it's been 3 years.
It's been a little bit.
Yeah. So anyway, it's rare for us.
Yeah. So we have a strategy that. Yeah. Well, we'll kind of go over it, but there's a few. But one I think is probably the one that will work for most people to get the most if in terms of like writing things out of your day.
If you're coming from this location.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's a lot of caveats.
There's a caveat to it. But we will go over it and talk about it.
Okay.
But before we do that, just want to remind everybody, if you're listening to us on good old trusty podcast audio form, we greatly appreciate that. We just ask you please subscribe to the podcast feed. Leave us a review. We'd greatly appreciate that. And if you're listening to us or watching us on YouTube, we'd please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and you can find the video versions of the show over at CTM Podcast on YouTube. We greatly appreciate just checking out there as well if you'd rather watch us or whatever. And if you want even more content, you can check out Club 32, which is our private group where we have a lot more content. We have live streams, like we have Cool Kids Kitchen. We have the Club 32 Speakeasy, the Club 32 show where we go live every Tuesday. Like we hung out last night as long Jamie's allergies. She kept in there for like an hour. I was proud of her. She did really good. And
thank you. I appreciate it.
And we chat with everybody in there. It's just only Club 32 members hang out. We have a private Facebook group, private Discord. Get 20% off of CTM apparel and 1901 Candle Company products, private podcast feed, all sorts of stuff. So again, if you want to check out there and just contribute to the show directly, you can head over to ctmvip.com, and we have monthly or yearly options, and you can even do a free trial if you want to just try it out. And you can if you do a yearly, you get a free t-shirt. So either way, you get something. So again, ctmvip.com is where you go for that.
Yes.
All right, our first story, like we talked about, is there may be something coming to Animal Kingdom, maybe more specifically Dinoland, as there was a new permit filed involving Animal Kingdom that suggests as much.
Yes. So it was a new permit that was filed by Walt Disney Imagineering, and this is for a project trailer compound that's supposed to be set up behind Cali River Rapids. And it's supposed to be a parking lot of more than 300 vehicles. So this area, you're thinking, okay, well, what does that have to do with Dinoland? Well, where that's set up is there's a backstage road and like a little walkway that leads up to Dinoland. And these type of permits, these type of trailer, this compound, this thing is for larger construction projects. For example, this would have been like a size they would have used when they redid for Pandora. Mm-hmm. They would use for that size. So we're thinking big. This is going to be big. It does not specifically say what this is for yet, but we are just, everybody in the Disney zeitgeist is like, okay, is this going to go after the blue sky stuff that they were talked about at D23 a couple years ago or 2022, whenever that was? Is it talking about the blue sky stuff for Indiana Jones ride, replacing Dinosaur? Is this the Tropical Americas with Encanto and Coco? Yeah, so there's no official announcement, so this is more like a rumor. The permit is real, but the rumor is that it's going to be targeted to Dinoland and redoing that area. What do you think?
Well, the timing would make sense given I've been saying for a while that Disney will have some sort of rebuttal in the works for Epic Universe. As much as they're going to act like they don't understand that it exists, they're going to have something surely to rebuttal with that. And I've said for a long time, I don't think a fifth gate is something that Disney is looking at doing, nor do they necessarily need at this point. And I don't think people really want that, because as much as people complain about ticket prices now, if they add a fifth gate, they're going to go up even more. So I definitely think, and I've said for a while, Animal Kingdom needs more stuff. So this does make sense. Dinoland is sad. It's just a sad place at the moment. And they took out Primeval World, 2 years ago? That's just been vacant, sitting there.
Yeah.
So now what it'll be, who knows? They threw out a lot of things. They have thrown out a lot of things about what they could put there. And they could be something completely different, because blue sky does not necessarily mean these are things that we're going to do. It was just thinking these are things that we could do. But with that said, I definitely think it leans towards something happening. And the timing, when's D23 exact?
Well, we're going to talk about the next story, actually.
Right, but when is D23 typically?
August.
August. So it makes sense in that timeline that you would be preparing things now for a big announcement come August. And then ideally, you would hit the ground running with construction right away. Mm-hmm. Because if you're thinking, why would they file a permit for like a parking area? Well, you got to have somewhere for construction workers and all that equipment to park. Yeah. They're not going to take up guest parking. They're not going to do that. So that is one of the first steps that goes into things like this. So
yes,
I think it's potentially, it's promising that something it seems is happening. Now, what it'll be, I guess is as good as mine. I wouldn't be mad if it was something Indiana Jones related. I think Encanto can make sense in Animal Kingdom. So, yeah, I mean, I'll be curious to see what it is, but I think Animal Kingdom is a good place to start with adding some more stuff.
So here are my 2 cents. I know the park is called Animal Kingdom, and that's focusing mostly on animals, but I think that you could do a lot with this area using what they said they might do. The concept art, I'm looking at it a little closer than I have before, and I think there's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential here. And so using Coco, using Encanto, I think Zootopia was it's tough to be a bug. So
that's what they said. It's what the rumor for a long time was Zootopia would go back into Dinoland area.
Right. But they hadn't mentioned that since then. I don't know. But I think this could be really good. Right now, as Dinoland stands, like our kids like it. They like the Triceratops spin. They like the Boneyard. They won't ride dinosaur. So that's just for me, basically, and maybe Jared. But everything else is just kind of, it's all right. It's there. So it's not the most popular place to be, especially for, I would say, adults. So I would be okay with them doing this, and I'm excited to see more information come out about what is actually going to be done, because it could be something completely different that they haven't announced. It could be something that they've been thinking about doing, and I don't know.
Yeah, I always felt
conjecture at this point.
Yeah, I always felt the blue sky where they had Encanto and Coco, and then threw in Indiana Jones. I always felt that was a weird mix, because I don't think Indiana Jones belongs in Animal Kingdom. And yeah, you can make the argument. There's a lot of stuff nowadays in the parks, like technically Frozen, in my opinion, should be in Magic Kingdom. You have Moana over in Epcot that to me would make a lot of sense to put in Animal Kingdom. So there's a lot of mismatch of things. To me, Indiana Jones is not tied down to one specific place. He's an archaeologist that travels around. But it seems that when it comes to Disney, sometimes it's like you can really hold on to the way things like originally were in the parks. I think at least in this iteration of Disney, that's no longer going to be something that they really hold on to as a top priority. Unfortunately, I wish it was the case that they did, but I don't think Indiana Jones works here as much. Would I be mad? No. But I do think you can make a case for Encanto and Coco and maybe something else being in here.
But Indiana Jones, they could have a terrarium exhibit of snakes.
That would be terrible.
Why?
I hate snakes. I'm with Indiana Jones. Snakes
he
are the
like
worst.
Snakes. I'm just saying that that you could
if our big draw here is we're gonna have a snake exposition or where you can go check out snakes. This is doomed.
I'm just saying. I don't think there is one right now at Animal Kingdom, is there? I can't recall.
I don't think so. If there was, I wouldn't go to it. I don't enjoy them.
Right.
But yeah, so that potentially is something that,
yes.
Again, we'll see what develops, but it seems like that's something that is probably going to happen on some level over at Animal Kingdom. So
yes,
when we hear more about it, we will let you know. So, and speaking of D23, like we said, there are more details about the D23 fan event that is going to be in Anaheim coming in August, like we talked about.
Yes. So we have a little more information about ticket prices, ticket tiers, and all that stuff. We're not going to talk about the pricing just because this is a Disney World show. But I do want to mention that there will be a presentation on August 10th, because it's August 9th through the 11th. And August 10th, there's going to be a Disney Experiences showcase. So there's going to be panels and presentations, shopping merchandise, immersive experiences, and the show. And it's all going to be at the Honda Center. And this is almost twice as big as the Anaheim Convention Center this year. So a lot more people can be fit into here. And then there's I think one of the tickets you can basically buy your ticket space for an extra amount. It's almost like a fast pass for your seat. Almost. It's just the way they're doing it. But so there's that, and it's going to go on sale here. I think it's next week. But I do want to talk about the Disney Legends real quick. So Disney Legends this year were let's see, 1, 2, 3, there's 15 of them or 14 of them, and it's quite the list. Most notably, there is James Cameron, Angela. Is it Bassett or Bassett?
I think it's Bassett.
Bassett. Okay. Jamie Lee Curtis. Great name. Miley Cyrus. Okay. Steve Ditko. He's publishing. Harrison Ford. Mark Henn, who is the animation guy, he is the guy we see in the Full House episode. When they go to Disney, he's talking to Joey. That's that guy. Frank Oz, Kelly Ripa, Joe Rohde, John Williams. So a lot of really big names, and Ryan Seacrest is hosting all of that. But the reason I want to bring this up is because of some comments that Joe Rohde said. He basically was talking about how honored he was to be nominated, and he was flattered to be in this group of people, and like it was all about everybody else that was working with him. And he said, and regardless of whatever accomplishment warrants this honor, there would be no Disney legends at all if it not for the most legendary Walt Disney himself, whose creative impact on an entire century will always far outpace any legends who trail in his wake. End quote.
Nicely said.
I thought that was a very nice thing to say. And so it just, I don't know. I've been following him a lot lately. He's been posting a lot of stuff on his Instagram lately. It's like, this is all interesting stuff. But anyway, he's very popular with the Disney crowd, and, it'll be great to see all these legends. Hopefully they all can come. John Williams is 92, so I don't know about him.
The term legends for some of them I don't know if Kelly Ripa is really a legend. We're being quite honest here. But
she's been on that show for like 20 years now.
I've asked this question, like, what is the criteria to do this? So obviously some of these are good. Like, I do think it's James Cameron. I mean, James Cameron does what James Cameron does.
Absolutely. John Williams
Cameron.
deserves to be on that list.
Well, I'm not saying John Williams does. I'm saying Harrison Ford. I'm going to be interested to see how much he's going to act like he cares. Because Harrison Ford is notorious for being a crotchety old man, even when he was not an old man. He's very much like, Harrison, are you happy to be here? Yeah. Sure. Like I remember at the Star Wars celebration, they were like, what's your favorite part about Star Wars or something? He was just like, nothing. Like he just doesn't, like sometimes Harrison Ford's just that way. So that'll be interesting to see. But yeah, there's a lot of big names on there.
Yeah.
And Kelly Ripa.
Kelly Ripa. Stop. People like Kelly Ripa.
I didn't say people didn't like her. Yeah. I just want to know the criteria for legend. I don't know how they determine that. But anyway, all that information I'll put in the show notes if you want to take a look at it. You have to be a D23 member in order to buy tickets for this event. But expect it to be sold very, very quickly. So if you are wanting to go, be ready to buy a ticket ASAP. Yes, so that's all about that. So, all right, next story we have is that Disney H2O Glow Nights are returning this summer.
Yes, so I actually went last year with our daughter, the last one of the event of the year. I think it was like Labor Day, and this year it's going to be 18 nights from May 25th to August 31st, and it's about $75 to $85 per ticket. Depending on when you go, and you've got a couple hours of the night and to just ride rides, and you get special treats. You get free Mickey bars, free popcorn, free drinks, and it's all, it's a hootin' good time.
I thought you were going to say hootin' nanny.
Hootin' nanny. But you can get it as early as 6, and it basically goes from 8 to 11. And tickets go on sale on Friday, so get your tickets. Get your tickets.
There you go. Yeah.
But it's exciting.
Did you enjoy it when you went?
Oh, it was a blast. We had loved it. I highly recommend it. Especially during the summer, closer to like August when it's really hot outside, and it stays hot at night. Like that's the best time to go. Cause like I said, we went beginning of September and it was so hot in September. And so we really enjoyed it.
I mean, swimming at night in the summer is the best. One of the best. So
yeah. So yeah, it's a really, really fun time.
Well, there you go. All right. The next news story we have is that the 1900 Park Fair menu has been released with pricing for both breakfast and dinner.
Mm-hmm. So they had recently announced that this restaurant is reopening April 10th, and a whole new list of characters are coming in, and they actually revealed the pricing not too long ago of breakfast and then later with dinner. So breakfast is going to be $54 per adult, $34 per child, and you can get things like bread pudding with vanilla cream, donut holes, Grand Floridian strawberry soup, double chocolate muffin, guava and cream cheese Danish, cinnamon pull-apart bread, beef and potato hash, eggs Benedict with hollandaise, omelets, eggs, bacon, sausage, chicken sausage, biscuits and gravy, Mickey shaped waffles, carved ham, smoked salmon, croissant pizza, cheesy potato casserole, etc., etc., etc. And then, of course, they have specialty drinks you can get as well. And then for dinner, it's $66 per adult and $41 per child. And for the dinner buffet that they have, and this is not a full list, they said. So you can get peel and eat shrimp, Tiana's gumbo, baked salmon, carving station, prime rib. Let's see, they've got strawberry soup again. They've got couscous salad, focaccia, mashed potatoes, green beans, vanilla cupcakes, and then I'm sure there'll be a lot more. This is classic favorites for children, which I don't know what that means. Like chicken nuggets and
probably
hot dogs.
Yeah, your basic kids foods.
Yeah, and then of course the drinks as well. So yeah, I mean, that's just a little sampling of what we can expect from this restaurant that opens at the Grand Floridian. So people are excited. I
mean, $54 for breakfast is aggressive.
Well, 66. I mean, this is Disney. 66. I was actually, I thought it was going to be more. I thought it was going to be more than that. I really did.
I mean, I've talked about it before. I just think once you start getting to that pricing, it's just so cost prohibitive. I understand things are more expensive, but man.
Yeah.
I just think at some level, to me, I've always felt like some of the food's okay, but for the most part, the prices you're paying for these things, I feel like the food could be quite a bit better. But some of it's better. I mean, some are hit and miss, some of it's better. I've never done this one, so can't speak to this one specifically. But if you're looking to do it, there you go.
I asked my mom, and apparently I have never been here. I thought I had. I have never eaten here, so this will be a first for me too.
Oh,
so
no.
I know. I'm sorry, but yep, we will eat there very soon. So, okay.
There's also a new ticket that has been released by Disney for the spring and summer of this year.
Yeah. So Florida residents can purchase a 4-day Discover Disney ticket for $59 per day plus tax, which is $235 plus tax. A specially priced 3-day ticket is also available, and this is valid for use April 2nd through September 28th, 2024, with an advanced park reservation. Don't forget those park reservations.
Right? Yes.
So again, the 4-day ticket is $235. The 3-day ticket is $219, and you could do an add-on option. You can add on Park Hopper for $40 more. You can add on Water Parks for $35 more, or you can add on both for $55 and more. So. Anyway, you can buy those tickets if you're a Florida resident. So
there you go.
So fun.
And the last thing I was going to mention, this would be strictly a rumor, and I'll only bring this up because he has been right about some things in the past. Is there's a YouTube channel called Mickey Views, guy that runs that. His name Braden. He tweeted out simply, no sources or anything, so no idea as to how accurate this is. But he simply just says, there's a nighttime parade currently in development for Walt Disney World. So it seems that somebody would have told him that if that's the case.
Yeah.
That would make a lot of sense. Something we've been asking for a long time. I think it would go a long ways in terms of what I've been saying Disney needs to do, which is like just if they just did simple things that give current fans what they want, simple little things, meet and greets, stuff like that, nighttime parade, that would be a thing that people would absolutely love that they only currently do for special ticketed stuff like Halloween party, Christmas party, stuff like that. So if that is the case, I think that would be a really good thing.
Oh, it would be amazing. I would love it.
But so again, there's no sources, no nothing about that, no timeline or anything. So that could be something that they announced at D23. Animal Kingdom's getting stuff and a nighttime parade. I don't know. That I could see. I think I've said for a while, I don't think Disney is going to reveal anything wild at D23. I don't think it's going to be like a fifth gate. I would be shocked if they did much at, like, say, Hollywood Studios. They're clearly not going to do probably much at Epcot, if anything. I mean, maybe Test Track's going to get its redo. There's rumors out there about that. Yeah. Magic Kingdom, there's always that possibility that they could do Beyond Big Thunder. But again, with Tiana opening up, I don't know if they're going to... I don't know. I don't know how that timeline matches up. To me, Animal Kingdom makes the most sense. And like a nighttime parade. I don't know if that would suffice. I think a lot of people would be pretty happy with that. But Yeah, I don't know if that's now in terms of it, is that a rebuttal for a big, their biggest competitor opening up a brand new theme park? I don't think it's on the same level, but they don't necessarily have to do something on the same level. They can just, do things that people are asking for. So we'll have to wait and see on that, but that potentially is something that could be coming at D23.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I hope you're right. I hope it happens.
Hey, if it's wrong, I just read it and saw it, so who knows? I hope it's right too, but
yeah,
we shall see. So, all right, well, that's going to do it for the news, but Jamie does have a poll time.
Poll time. All right, for my poll time this week, I asked the question, what is the best quick service in Animal Kingdom? And this is going to round out my 4-part poll time series. What is the best quick service in each park? And so Animal Kingdom, 59% said Satuli Canteen, 27% said Flame Tree Barbecue, 8% said Yak and Yeti Local Foods Cafe, 3% said Harambe Market, and looks like 2% said Restaurantosaurus. So Satuli Canteen wins out by a landslide.
Okay.
I mean, it's hard to that place is just so darn good. It's just so darn good. Stop.
It's okay.
Stop.
It's not, I don't believe it lives up to the hype a lot of people give it. It is good. I can't say it's my, in terms of quick service on all property, I don't think it would be my top 5. But it is, Animal Kingdom's a good food park, but quick service can be a little hit and miss. But it's good.
I mean, I think it's great. So we do not agree here.
That's totally fine.
But those cheeseburger pods, so good. I like the fact that you can make your own bowl, kind of like Chipotle style, I guess.
I like the bowl,
but I like the flavors they use, and I don't know. It's been delicious since it came in. So
it is unique. I will give it that. It's much more. It's way different than anything else you'll find in the quick service category in the parks. So I think that has for sure going for it.
Yeah,
I still hold up my favorite quick service just of any of the parks is Regal Eagle. Just I think that's
you do like
in terms of barbecue. It's not as good as it once was, but it is still really good. So that would be probably an all property. But Animal Kingdom, that might be my favorite one.
Okay.
I do like Yak and Yeti. Yak and Yeti's pretty solid though.
Oh my gosh, I love their fried rice and their egg rolls.
Yak and Yeti is very underrated, especially now you've got the 2 parts. You got the sit down part and you got the quick service part.
We're talking about this is a quick service,
right.
So this is just
that. I know, but you talk about Yak and Yeti. Sometimes people get confused. You do have the quick service portion of it. So I don't know. I would probably say Yak and Yeti for me personally, just because it's really good and the portion sizes are pretty solid.
Okay.
I wouldn't be mad about Satuli Canteen either. So
okay. Well, good because it won.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, that's it for Jamie's poll time.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for participating in the poll this week. I will have a new poll next week.
Yes, and if you can be part of the next poll time, you can do that by joining the Capture the Magic Facebook community, and you can also follow us on Instagram and participate over there. Jamie posts those in the stories, so you can vote in one or both places there. So.
Yes.
All right, well, let's get to our main discussion here, which is rope drop strategies for Epcot that we personally tested.
Yes.
Thorough examination, and we tested these vigorously, if you will.
I mean, I don't know if it's vigorously. We're just there.
Just go along with it.
Okay.
Vigorously, we spared no effort. I'm trying to really just build this up. So, what I will say, this is the rope drop strategy that we used, and typically, and we'll talk about the scenarios in which a different type would work.
Uh-huh.
This is one we use that we found that works the best for us in most situations, probably. So.
Yep.
You want to? So we did this. What was it? March 1st when we did this.
We did this on March 1st. So this is the 3rd day of Flower and Garden Festival for this year. So and it was also a Friday, if that makes a difference.
It is true.
Yep.
It was a Friday.
And this is also during early theme park entry. This is not regular rope drop. This is definitely during early theme park. And the reason we did it this way is because we feel like most people that listen to us, most people that go to Disney, most likely will be staying on property or either be staying at Disney Springs hotels that offer that. So we're like, okay, well, let's do early theme park entry to see how it goes. So that's why we did it.
Yeah, if you didn't do early theme park entry, you could do it the exact same way. It just you wouldn't get as much done nearly.
Right.
I mean, I've said for a while that 30-minute early entry I think should be an hour, but even that 30 minutes, if utilized correctly, does give you an advantage over everybody else getting into the park.
Sure.
So
that this day the park opened at 9 a.m. So early entry begins at 8:30. We arrived at Epcot, and I have timestamps for all of this because I took pictures and I took video, so I went back and looked. We arrived at Epcot at 7:32, and we drove. We were checking out of our hotel this morning, so we drove, and the parking gates actually opened at 7:30, so we didn't have to wait. We just scanned it and right in. We scanned into the park at 7:40. So for early entry, when you walk in, you scan in, you're in Epcot, they will direct you to the far right side, like right after the turnstiles. And
at least this day.
I think this is pretty standard.
Yeah.
So you go to the right side, far right side, and the cast members will scan your band or your ticket to make sure you are a Walt Disney World Hotel guest.
Mm-hmm.
And once line up, they put you into two lines. It doesn't really matter which line you're in. I mean, I guess if you're going to certain places, you may want to be on one side or the other, but it doesn't really matter because they all go in a group.
Yeah, it really wouldn't matter which side you're on because once you're in there, people are crisscrossing and going different spots and everything like that.
Yeah, and there were about 50 to 60 people in front of us by the time we got in line about 7:45. So we waited for about 10 minutes, and then at 7:55, they let us go into the park, into the World Celebration Gardens area, and that's when you can kind of veer off and head to the holding areas. You're only allowed to walk on either side of Spaceship Earth to get there. Like nothing else is open on the sides. So like, that area that's usually open that takes you to World Nature. Like if you're in front of the park, you just don't go under Spaceship Earth. You just go to the very, very right toward World Nature. That is closed during early entry. So don't even try going that way. So you'll take you through to the World Gardens area and then you go off into your holding areas. I would say there are 4 main holding areas, but there's a couple little ones. So the first one we'll talk about is the breezeway into World Discovery, and that's between Connections Cafe and Creation Shop. And that is for if you're going for Test Track or Mission Space. That's what's opened. Next was the walkway next to Communicore Hall and Communicore Plaza construction. So right now, it's the way it's set up right now with the gardens is in the construction. They have the walkway blocked off from like between like if you're going from World Gardens to like Figment to Imagination, like along the water, like you can't go that way anymore. Like it's blocked off. So right now the way to get there is between the construction hall and the plaza, and they'll hold you there for Soarin', The Seas with Nemo and Friends, Journey of Water, Moana, and Living with the Land. And those are the 4 you can do. There's a little holding area right by the path to Journey of Water, kind of right by the Walt statue over there. But I did not see many people over there. There's one right next to Creation Shop, right past the breezeway. And I would think that would be for Frozen, I guess. I mean, there were not a lot of people there either. There were some. But the big one that had, I think, the most people after Test Track one was the World Celebration Gardens in front of the planter that has Figment right now. And that was for Frozen Ever After and Remy's. And this is the area that we were in.
So there's one correct choice for all these holding areas. I'm just saying, if you're rope dropping for Moana, I don't know why.
Well,
not really sure as to why you would do that, but
right.
You could. But I'm just saying, in our opinion.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we were holding it here for close to 30 minutes.
Yeah, ish.
So this was a great time. I wanted to get coffee right off the bat because I like my morning coffee. So when we got in there, at first there's a Joffrey stand right outside the entrance where you walk to the gates for Epcot. So I asked the cast members, is Joffrey's open? And they said it was. So I went over there, and they in fact weren't. The girl was in there, but she said they didn't open until 8 or 8:30. And I was like, okay. So I went back in. Wasn't a big deal. But if you do want to get your morning coffee here, you can go to the Starbucks, which turned out to be a great time to do that because I think I was like the 3rd person in line.
I was going to ask you if it was busy.
It was not. Well, it was busy once I'd been in there. I don't think a lot of people knew you could go in there because they didn't really, like, the door opened and there's only like 2 or 3 people in front of me. By the time I got my coffee and stuff, it was way backed up. So
okay. Good
I would say if you're going to do this, go straight in there and do it. So I got coffee for Jamie and I. Charlotte's a great time to do that. Drink the coffee before you do your rope drop stuff. So
yeah, no, it's a great strategy. But like you said, if you don't get there like at 8:00, if you get into like 8:20, 8:15, you may not have time.
Right. And I mean, I would get in there pretty quick. Now, they had multiple cash registers. I don't know how quick it was moving after I got mine, but I would say, as soon as you can, get in there.
Okay.
If you want coffee, or you can get breakfast stuff there as well, of course.
So we, we're drinking our coffee. We're just chilling in front of this area. And the cast members were trying to like talk to us and pump us up and get us all excited. And at 8:25, they quote unquote dropped the rope, or they just let us through. And then there was a mad dash to get to the rides. Jared did his little speed walk that he does.
It's just a normal walk, really.
No, you're speed walking.
Well, I did it. Yeah, like if I was in a little bit, I did slow down for you because I was.
Dude, I can't. You have longer legs.
I know. Well,
I was like running.
I'm not trying to brag. I would have been in first place.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say. There
was one family in front of us, bro. One family.
Yeah, there was one group in front of us. I was waiting for you. I was being chivalrous, so I didn't go full bore. I'm just saying we could have been first. I've actually never done that. I've never been the first person on a ride. I don't think
so either. We were close.
I waited for you, so we were like I don't know, 15th.
To be fair, I could have gone a little faster if I hadn't like twisted my ankle like 2 days earlier. Remember that?
Well, you fought through injuries,
I was like, it was hurt. Okay,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
I know. That's why I slowed down.
I did my best.
It was fine.
Okay.
It was fine. But we did this because the first place we were going to was Frozen.
That was our strategy.
That was our threat to go do Frozen first.
Yes. So went to Frozen. We got there right at 8:30. So it took us 4 minutes to get from the World Celebration Gardens to the entrance to Frozen Ever After, which I feel like is a good time. That's a good time, right? 4 minutes?
We could beat that time, but yeah.
Okay. We're actually the second boat of the day. So the family that was in front of us, they got on the first boat, obviously, but we were on the second. And I was like, well, look at that.
I mean, we weren't first. And basically, if you're not first, you're last, but it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'm just saying.
I know.
So we got off Frozen by 8:40. So we're still like the early part of early entry right now. And when we got out, the line for Frozen it still said 25 minutes, but the line was outside.
It was.
It's like starting to go outside. So I was like, ooh, it's going to get busy. So we decided that we still have time. We're going to head to Test Track. And so we walked quickly to Test Track, and it took about 5 minutes, and we got there at 8:45, and we walked right into the holding room before you design your car. And so that took a little bit. We had to wait a little bit.
Well, the cast member, it said 25 minutes, and the cast member we walked up, she goes, it's like 5.
She's like 5 minutes.
And I was like, okay. But yeah, I don't know if now when you design your car, that's basically just a thing for you to do in the queue. It doesn't add to the ride really. You can just walk straight past that, which is what we did. Now, I don't really know if it saves you time because you're still waiting. Like nobody's getting in front of you at that point.
Well, the other room is designing, and they get let out before we did. So we did save some time.
That's true. You do. I forget about the other room. So yeah. So we just walked straight through, got in line, and then I mean we were on within 10 minutes.
Yeah, we were on at 8:57. I took a picture of us.
You did.
I did.
Right, yeah.
And then we were off the ride outside by 9:07.
Yeah.
So we did 2 rides in the time of early entry.
We did.
So I feel like we had a very successful early entry rope dropping time.
Yeah. And now just to round it out, we also, what did we do after that? I'm trying to remember what we rode after.
Oh gosh. Track. Soarin'. We did Soarin'.
We did go do Soarin'. Soarin' was like 20 minutes, if even.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it wasn't bad. And then we did Living with the Land since we were over there.
I needed a nap at that point. I was pretty tired.
And then I think we did Spaceship Earth. All before.
We did because we met up with a friend and did Spaceship Earth.
Yeah, that was all like before like 10 o'clock, 10:30. Yeah. I mean, like we did a lot before then. So yeah, it was great. We had a great morning.
Well, you did Guardians too.
I did Guardians, but not till like later. It was like 12 something.
But you did have a queue or a
lightning lane for that
for Guardians. So
yes.
And the only thing we didn't do was Remy's.
Yeah, that's the only thing we didn't do, and we're going to talk about Remy's in a minute.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I think that strategy, most of the time works because Frozen, your two biggest rides that are the most popular in Epcot are Frozen and Remy's.
Besides Guardians, yes.
Well, in terms of waiting in line, because Guardians have to
Test Track though. They get a long line at Test Track.
I mean, they do, but I mean, like I said, we were there. Like it was not long. It gets later in the day. It typically gets longer.
I guess it depends on when you go, but yeah,
for the most part, like I think rope dropping Frozen and getting that done early like does free you up because most people, if you think of the general public, most people are going to go there and go straight to Frozen. So it gives you the advantage. Like it's only 30 minutes, but you already have that ride done. And then, like you said, we head over to Test Track, and not as many people are going to go there right off the bat. So you're just kind of beating the like flow of people coming off of rides what they're going to hit. But, now I know a lot of people are going to say they would go to Remy's, but there's a reason why if you're going in the main entrance of Epcot, we would recommend doing Frozen. Now, of course, if you want to do Remy's, you don't want to do Frozen. That's a different story. Yeah. But if you're looking to maximize your time, I think Frozen's a better bet because of where Remy's located. Because Remy's is, that going from there to Remy's would be a good almost 10-minute walk.
Well, let me tell you, Jared, it takes about eight-ish minutes if you do a brisk walk. By the time you get there, though, because you're waiting with everybody else in the World Celebration Gardens, you walk all along the side of World Showcase into France. You are already 10 minutes behind everybody else is coming through International Gateway.
Right.
And that's the problem because everybody that's going through International Gateway, not everybody, I would say most are going to ride Remy's because it's right there.
Yes.
Most days, I would say most days, by the time you get there, if you're coming from the front entrance and you want to do Remy's first, I would say most days you're going to wait anywhere between 20 and 40 minutes by the time you get there. So if you do Remy's from the front entrance, that is the only ride you're going to get done at early entry.
Yeah.
Like for sure. And it'll probably spill over into the park, like official park opening. Now, if you come in for National Gateway and you do Remy's first, you could be one of the first ones on or however far back you are. And then you might have the potential to be able to walk to Frozen and get Frozen done as well. One of my Trip Tales did this.
Yeah.
She was able to do 2 by the time early entry started. And sometimes they start running Remy's early if you're at International Gateway. Sometimes they'll start running it, 8:15, 8:20.
Yeah.
So it really depends on how busy the park is. It depends on how many people are doing what different rides. So just keep that in mind. But personally for us, if we're not coming through International Gateway, we're not doing Remy's first.
Yeah, I mean, it's personal preference, but I think you're able to do probably more. Because I think if you do Remy's first and you wait that 30, 40 minutes and then you go to do Frozen, you're going to be waiting at least 40, if not more, for Frozen. Yeah. Which I think feel like vice versa, you're going to wait less time.
Yeah.
Total.
Now, I thought about this. Okay, we did Frozen. We were off by, what was it, 8:40. We could walk to Remy's from here. However, they don't open World Showcase between Morocco and China until 9:00.
Right.
So we can, it's about the same. Well, it's a little bit longer to go the other way. So you would have to go through Mexico and Canada to get there, which is okay. But by the time you got there, it's going to be, maybe close to the park opening time. And your advantage of early entry is almost over.
Yeah.
Like you could get in line for a little bit of time, but then once 9:00 starts, that's when the lightning lane gets opened. So you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So Remy's is tough. Like I would suggest to just get Genie Plus for lightning lane for Remy's. But if you really don't want to do Genie Plus and you really want to do Remy's, then yes, you can rope drop it. But just be prepared to, maybe wait longer than you would other rides.
Also, it helps if you hustle when you're walking.
I mean, you still hustle. It's still a walk.
It's still a walk, but yeah. Yeah, I think most people probably would just end up doing a lightning lane for Remy's for that. Yeah. But yeah, so that's the strategy that we recommend. I'm sure, again, it depends on what you want to do and all that stuff like that. But now if you're coming to International Gateway, of course, hit Remy's first.
Absolutely.
And then go do Frozen.
Do not do Test Track from International Gateway. That is probably not a good idea. It's the same way with the beginning of the park or the front of the park to Remy's. From the back of the park to Test Track is also a walk.
Yes.
So I wouldn't recommend that either.
Also, and if you're rope dropping Mission Space, just know. Just
No, God! No, God!
Just basically, like, why would you do that?
I mean, that's not necessary.
You can ride that anytime.
Well, that's why we always say the four big ones: Remy's, Frozen, Test Track, and Soarin'. Those are the four you want to hit at the beginning of the day.
Unless you just want a good, quiet morning place, you know?
Absolutely.
Mission Space would be the bet. Nobody's going to be there. Just...
or
cast
Living with the
member-
Land.
Yeah, just
one's there.
nobody. They're going to be like, why are you here? But anyways, somebody's mad right now. They're just like, I love Mission Space first thing in the morning. But anyways.
Yeah. I will say, I'm going to talk about this from my experience this past week when we were at Disney. Remy's Lightning Lane or the Genie Plus allotments were gone before the park opened. Like they were gone for the day.
Yeah.
So again, if you don't want to rope drop Remy's and you want to get Genie Plus, that needs to be your first selection, especially in a busy day. Now this is spring break and I know it's not always busy like this, but I feel like that's pretty typical. If it's not your first option, it should be your second.
Yeah, I would agree.
You know what I mean? Like if that's, you know, I know this turned into a how to ride Remy's section, but
it's
really
also the newest ride in Epcot, so people do want to ride it.
Right.
But yeah. I mean, because the thing is about Remy's is like, we've talked about this. I like Remy's, but I don't think Remy's is really worth anything more than like a 30-minute wait, really. Like the level of ride that it is, at least in my opinion. I think Frozen is a better ride than Remy's.
Oh, now that I don't know if I agree with.
You don't know if you agree with that?
No, I don't think I do. Remy's is it's cute. It's very more interactive.
Or maybe they're about the same level. I just think the IP for Frozen does make it more popular.
Okay, I'll give you that.
I feel like if you had a Frozen trackless ride system, it would be more popular than, say, like a Remy's. I like Remy's. I just don't think, again, you're talking more than 30-minute wait. It's like Navi River. I like Navi River. It's just not worth waiting an hour for.
I'm not waiting more than 20 for that one.
So it's just like, how do you, a lot of times when it comes to rope dropping places, like budgeting your time, like, what's the most bang for your buck in terms of what to hit first? Like if you do it, that way you could ride maybe 4 or 5 rides versus if you ride another way that doesn't utilize, correctly, or at least how we would recommend, you may only be ride like 2 or 3 before, you either run out of time or it gets too busy.
Yeah. Now, if you're going to do the strategy where you ride Test Track first, obviously totally fine. Go do Test Track and then get off and maybe try Frozen or even Soarin'. But again, I wouldn't do Remy's because it's too far away.
Yeah, if you're going for Test Track first, I feel like the earlier you can do Frozen, the better.
It does see really long ways.
It still gets especially later in the day. So I feel like even if it's your second, that, and then I think Soarin' has a better chance of being still 20, 30 minutes or less versus Frozen for sure.
Well, I used to have a strategy with the 3, Test Track, Soarin', and Frozen. This is before Remy's, where I would say, okay, you're going to rope drop Soarin', you're going to get a Genie Plus or a Fast Pass for Frozen, and you're going to single ride Test Track.
Right.
That was my strategy, and now it's a little
you still could single ride Test Track.
You could.
It's not a bad strategy if you don't care to ride by yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, I think those are. Epcot didn't have that much stuff to really strategize about in terms of if you're rope dropping for World Showcase. Then you just show up and you just start eating and
drinking.
Yeah.
I will say on low and medium crowd days, you can get 2 attractions done in 30 minutes. But if you're in a really busy day, you're going to get 1. That's going to be it.
Yeah.
So just go in with your expectations like that, and you'll be fine. And if you decide to ride Soarin' first, then just do Living with the Land next, since it's right there.
I would agree. It's kind of a commitment to get all the way into the Land Pavilion.
I'm all about what is the least amount of walking.
Well,
at least for me.
Epcot's a big park. Especially if you're going to go there on top of that and you're going to walk around World Showcase, like you're going to do a lot of walking. So you ideally would want to have the most optimized walking, but you don't want to be double backing and doing extra walking when you don't have to.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
And when you rope drop with a buddy who will get you some coffee. Right, Jared?
It must be very helpful for you.
I
don't have a buddy that does that for me.
I would do that for you. You were the one that was like, I need coffee. And I was like, okay.
Like when the cast member was trying to hype people up, I'm like, I need coffee first. This is too early for this nonsense. I'm in line. I'm here. I don't.
Yeah.
Although when I played sports, I never the hype up stuff. I never liked it. I'm always like, I'm good.
Come on, guys, get up and dance or whatever.
Like, I'm good. We'll be fine.
No.
I'm hyped up just enough, just perfect amount. I'm good. Let the caffeine hit me, and then maybe I'll get a little more. But yeah,
well, I don't have anything else to add. I was just going to say this is our third park we have done this for, and we just have Animal Kingdom now. So.
And there's like 3 rides there.
Well, that one's easier to decide what you want to do. But,
True.
But
I do want to just reiterate, as nice as part of the Epcot Gardens area is and all that, that place is going to be a desert in the summer. There is nobody that's going to hang out at those outdoor tables out there.
I'll be crawling in water.
Gosh.
Water.
It's a cool, when it's nice weather outside, like we sat over there, like took a break.
Oh, it's awesome.
It's nice when the weather's nice. When it's 98 degrees outside and the sun's beating down on you, those things are just going to become like a frying pan.
Yep.
I still contend they're going to have to put fans or umbrellas.
They're going to have to.
It's just, and like those seats, a lot of those seats are just metal. Like it is going to be, I don't know. I feel like maybe that's going to be utilized a quarter of the year in the winter months, and that's kind of it. But
well, it's pretty, Jared. Design-wise, it works, but
gorgeous.
Whoever designed it does not live in Florida.
Look at this gorgeous pavilion. That man is passed out. Don't mind him. Anyways, yeah, but that's our rope dropping strategy. For Epcot. So
if you have any other strategies that you use for your Epcot days, you can let us know in the Facebook group, Capture the Magic Community. You can let us know on other social media platforms.
You can yell it to the wind into the sky at us.
We're Cap the Magic everywhere except for TikTok. We're Capture the Magic.
That is true.
I got it right.
You did get it right.
Yay.
That is true. I did want to mention, we are going to start a live streamed, basically like a live stream version of this show on Thursdays. So we were approached about doing this, and we kind of already thought about doing this anyways. So on Thursday evenings at 9:00, we're calling it theme parking. We're just going to talk about, it'll be a lot of it, a condensed maybe version of what we talk on the show here, but it'll be a live stream version over on the YouTube channel at Captain Magic. And we're also going to be live streaming that simulcast over at Streaming the Magic on Facebook. So we're going to, on Facebook, Streaming the Magic, and then on YouTube, it'll be Captain Magic. And so it'll be a lot like this show kind of, but you can participate in the chat.
Yeah.
And things like that. So it'll be a lot of fun there. But we're going to do that on Thursdays at 9:00 starting this week. So if you'd like to go over there and join us, we'd love to see everyone over there. I'll probably make it live. I think you can set up live streams early where you can get notifications and things. So it'll just set up a reminder. So if you want to check that out, feel free to do that. And looking forward to that. It'd be a lot of fun. And we have, if you want even more content, we have other shows. We have the CTM Universal show, where we talk about Universal Studios, and that is twice a month. And we probably have a new one coming out next week. Yeah,
it'll probably be Monday because I think we're going to do a little day trip on Friday. So we've got some stuff to talk about.
Yes. And then Jamie has Trip Tales, which is her trip report show, and she just had 2 episodes come out this week.
Part 1 and Part 2. One was Monday, one was Tuesday. And it's all about Jen's amazing trip. So check that out over there.
Yes. And again, if you want even more content, Club 32 is where you go for that. CTMVIP.com. And I think that will do it for the show. So thank you, everybody, for listening and or watching. And thank you, Jamie, for joining us.
Thank you.
And as Jamie always likes to say,
we will see you in the parks.
Bye.